Let me hear you guys. I can't hear nothing. Yeah! There we go. There we go. Well, thank you for coming out to this panel here. I'm super excited for what these guys are going to share with you guys. Another World panel. My first panelist, Brianna Knickerbocker, is an actor based in Los Angeles. She's known for her voice acting work in popular video games like Genshin Impact, Fire Emblem Heroes, Captain Full Body, Demon Slayer, ReZero, and 7 Deadly Sins, and many, many more. Just check out her IMDb when you get a chance. She is also a singer and songwriter known as Starless. Please welcome to the stage Brianna Knickerbocker. Bartley has been working in theater, film, television, and radio since she was a child. She's done Neo Genesis Evangelion, ReZero, Demon Slayer, Sword Art Online, the movie. She's also provided additional voices for some of the top performing recent feature films like the Lego Movie 2, every Spider-Man that has the word home in it in the title. Ryan is a graduate of USC School of Cinema Arts and with a major in cinema and television critical studies and a major in screenwriting. Please welcome to the stage Ryan Bartley.
I walked into that one. He could have allowed me for free, and he's like, "Oh, is that me?" And I was like, "No, you don't hear booing, do you?" It's okay. We're just fathers doing that today. It's fine.
And the man that introduced himself kind of here a second ago, Sean Chiplock, is a professional voiceover artist who has been quickly moving his way in future in the industry, voicing in projects across the board from video games to anime, the name brand commercials, and even products from Disney, Pixar, Nintendo. He's done work in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild series, Genshin Impact, the Trials Cold Steel series, and of course ReZero. Please give a big applause.
Boo!
No booing for Sean Chiplock. Come on.
Walking it back. There we go.
He did it. Okay.
I've been doing panels for 8 years. Never have I seen an introduction like that. Walking up backwards, booing. It's beautiful.
We're not on speaking terms right now. We're good.
First of all, I think I speak on behalf of all of us. Thank you guys for your time, for coming out to Phoenix, Arizona, for sharing with us what you do and what you've done, for the industry. We really appreciate you guys big time.
We appreciate you guys.
We're very thankful to be here.
Our careers only exist because of you guys wanting to see English dubs and stuff like that. If they thought they could get by with just doing Japanese and just putting it out the way that it is, they'd save the money and do it. So give yourselves a round of applause. Your retention is our sustenance.
Nice. He did warn me. This is going to be a wild one, he said. So I like to start with breaking in stories. If you want to start and go that way, how did you break into this industry? Your first role when you felt like, okay, this is it.
Yeah. So I never had planned to be an actor. I studied fashion design. Never took an acting class or anything. Went to LA. Hated fashion design. Quit after the first day. And then I went on Craigslist. Like, what the heck am I doing in LA? Found acting jobs and I booked things and I was like, and I loved it. It was really happy and wonderful. And I was like, oh, maybe I'm supposed to be an actor. So I signed up for LA casting, saw a voiceover job, and I never even knew voiceover could be a job. I was like, wait, voiceover? And then I booked it and it just kind of took off from there. And I would say my first anime, maybe that's breaking through or whatever, was Alone in the Sea.
Yeah. I'm terrified when you think. I want to know how bad it was that you, for a while, was like, I want to get into fashion design. And then after one day, was like, never again.
Dude, I literally studied it for 4 years too, and I was like,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
this is great.
I've had jobs that I hated, but I still lasted like a month before I was like, I can't do this.
One day. My soul was like, I literally cried in my car at lunch. My soul was like, no.
Yeah, you went to
I couldn't force
fashion
myself.
school. It was a big one, right? What's it called?
SCAD, Savannah College of Art and Design. The
Right.
fashion program's amazing. But yeah, when your soul is speaking to you, if you listen to that voice, you can hear it. You know, you gotta trust your instincts.
That's
Yeah,
why
I'm
I
glad
get
you-
the quadruple whopper instead of the double whopper.
I see you can break into voiceover so many different ways. This is the wild thing, is we all have really different stories. I was doing like theater and some film work as a kid, and I had an agent, and they just started sending me voiceover auditions, and at the time it was like radio stuff, like there'd be an audition for T-Mobile or something, and it'd be like, Mom, the internet's down, you know, like whatever like kids, you know, do in commercials, which isn't much. But that was kind of my like introduction to voiceover in general, and I don't like remember really my first spot, you know, any details of it. But I started working for Radio Disney when I was like a tween, because they use real kids to do. Did anyone listen to Radio Disney when they were a kid? Okay, so you remember they have like real kids that do like Radio Disney, we're all ears, you know, like that kind of thing. And they use real kids for that. So and they had a big corporate office in Dallas. I don't know if they still do. They might actually, but they had like a big station there, and so they would bring in real kids, and you would do like a stack of promos, and it could be for all different markets. Like it could be Chicago, it could be Arkansas, and it would be like, you know, Cheetah Girls this Saturday, you know, whatever, and like promoting their stars or whatever.
It's like a petting zoo. They just open the gate at like 10 a.m. and let all the little ones file in, and
Yeah.
then it's like, I'll take this one and this
Well,
one.
the weirdest thing is we had these auditions, and they were always like, you had to audition every year, and I didn't make it the first couple times. I like really wanted to do it, and I kept getting called back and not making it. But that's why like I started voiceover when I was probably like 10, but I didn't start working for Radio Disney till I was like 11 or 12 probably, because I didn't make the cut the first few times I tried. But they would have these big open calls at like Texas Rangers Stadium or like a local movie theater, and they would, you'd actually, almost like an open audition at an anime con where they do those, like you stand in front of the judges and you have like a script and you're like reading, and you go down the line and there'd be like 5 different like little tiny 1 or 2 sentence spots, and you would like stand in a row with like 10 other kids at a time, or maybe like 7 other kids at a time, and you would go down the row and read like, oh, I'm number 4, and you would like take your turn and like read it, and then they would choose like callbacks from there, or you would, you know, a couple weeks later you would go like to the radio station and do your callback. But anyway, eventually I finally made the cut, and I was working for Radio Disney, and you would go in and they'd give you like a stack of things to read for all different radio markets and stuff. So that was kind of like really when I started getting into voiceover hardcore, and I was like, I want to do this. But then I kind of started thinking I want to do cartoons, because I love, you know, the Rugrats and Rocko's Modern Life, and those things, sort of Fairly Odd Parents, like those were all really big inspirations for me as a kid. Classic Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon for the most part, and I looked up to all those people, Greg Delisle and Tara Strong and people like that, and I just really, really wanted to do cartoons. So I started studying animation around the time I was probably like 13, 14, like taking classes to do animation, but it was so hard to break in, so hard to book animation. And I was in classes with Zena Robinson, actually, if you guys know who he is. He's a voice actor. We've been friends since he was literally like 11 or 12 when we met, and I'm a little bit older than him, but we were doing these classes to do cartoons, and at the time he was on Ben 10, like he had broken in, like he had gotten a few episodes, but I still hadn't done anything, you know, and we were like really trying to break into cartoons, and we just like stayed on that grind and took classes together for like a decade before anyone gave us a job again. It was really brutal. But yeah, so like it was very different, like for our stories, like I kind of always wanted to be specifically a voice actor. And it's still, like I said, it's all different ways of breaking in. We have a friend who was in the military, and then voiceover is like his second career. And he books a ton, like he books all these, you know, Call of Duty, like games and that kind of thing. So, you know, it takes all different kinds of people that have been doing it since they're a kid, people that this is their second career. Like, it's really runs the gambit. So, like, I always tell people, if you have any interest in voiceover, pursue it. Like, you only live once. You have to pursue your dream, and it's never too late to start. Truly, like, it's not just about having a good voice or anything like that. You do have to be a really solid actor. Like I had a background in theater, you know, before, and I still did theater all up until recently. And I still do improv and stuff live, so that's kind of theatery. But yeah, it's everyone's story is very different, and that's kind of mine. I don't know if there was like a big break moment, like, I don't know when, I mean, I still don't think anyone really knows anything about who I am. Most people are like, I don't know who Ryan Bartley is. Is that a dude? And now that Ryan called me his Chainsaw Man, I'm not even the most famous Ryan in anime. So
all the Ryans that I know are just so freaking attractive. Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Bartley, Ryan Cole Levy. I just changed my name to Ryan Chiplock, and just naturally my skin will clear overnight.
You're Ryan now.
Like, Scrooby and a Sean, Ryan's where it's at.
Yeah.
It's the Ryan rejuvenation.
There you go, there you go. But yeah, that's my story, so.
I don't want to share mine now.
I got it.
All right.
Totally got it.
All right. Well, does anyone remember those like '90s toy commercials with like the really high energy voices, you know, going super cool? I mean, I remember them too. I wasn't in them. I just wanted to remember them for a moment. But we're not going. So,
Here we go.
A lot of my life has been patterned by things that were incredibly obvious to everyone else, and then I only figured it out like years later, because for the longest time...
I'm glad you're aware of that.
Aware of what?
Never mind.
I had no idea what voice acting was. Similarly, you're like, it wasn't a thing that you had processed for a while. I think you...
Yeah, I had no idea that was even a job.
So even though I had no idea what VO was, and I mean this dead seriously, my younger brother and I would play Nintendo 64 games, some of the early PlayStation games that had text but no voices, and we would take turns coming up with voices for the characters and saying the lines in those voices. I know this makes no sense, but you
No,
have
it
to
does,
trust.
because I literally, my sister and I would turn on shows on
Yeah.
the TV, on mute, and we would record, and we would do voiceovers.
And then I would watch
for
Dexter's
years.
Lab, and no part of my brain would go, "It's the same thing, you stupid child."
Literally.
Literally. It was like, man, the little boy who lives in that world has such a cool voice, you know? Now here's one that I will hopefully identify with people. Do we have high schoolers in here, or at least college people who still want to remember their high school years? Okay. Do you remember the phase where it went from focusing on high school to, yeah, you need to do all your high school work, but also have you picked out which college you're going to spend the next 4 to 6 years of your life at? Because if you don't have your major, your minor, and your sub-minor decided by the time you start for your freshman year, you're a failure, and you're going to live destitute on the side of the river in a van before you die of starvation. Don't screw it up.
It's going to cost $200,000.
Yeah, no, that's $200,000 if you switch. It's like one of those Comcast contracts where if you stop your major early, they still charge you for the rest of the time that you would have spent at college. So anyway, yeah, I'm a comedian. Right? When I'm funny. When I'm not, it's her fault. Anyway, so, sorry, I lost my train of thought there.
You deserve it.
I know I deserve it. I deserve everything I did in life. Good and bad.
Not everything.
Oh, gosh.
Wow! No, you're the second person who said that. The first was my wife. Anyway, so,
You and your brother in the games.
I'm going through it. I was going through it. So I was going through it where I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and there was a lot of subjects in high school that I was doing well at, I was paying attention, but I didn't want to dedicate 4 years of my life to it. So when people ask, what got you started in VO, my serious answer is boredom, Neopets, MapleStory, and Adult Swim. Because I hated going to bed. Screw going to bed. At least until I turned 25, and then going to bed was the best thing that's ever frickin' happened. Like, they're like, hey, you want to go get drinks? Screw that! I'm hitting the pillow, baby, let's go. The best part of my life is when I wake up and I turn the pillow over and I lay back down and I'm like, oh, I don't need a relationship. I just need cold pillows for the rest of my life. So...
It's really brutal. He's married.
No, because then I wake up and then she's like, can you turn the pillow for me? And I'm like, here you go. And she's like, this is better than sex. For those of you who don't know, it is. You'll find out. Anyway, so...
I think you like pillows too much.
What?
I think this is how we learn you have a pillow problem.
A pillow problem?
Yeah.
That's not the word I thought you were going to use, but for the sake of the audience, we'll stick with that. It's called a dakimakura, Brie. I'll teach you about them later. What she actually does. doesn't know, oh no. All right.
Rem, I don't want to know what this is.
It's when you want to spend
No!
$150. Oh, okay, he's doing the swallow. I'm not going to continue.
Please do.
When you want to spend $150 in a single night, but you don't want people knowing you hired an escort.
You've confused everyone.
I'm stopping there. I'm not going any further. Anyway, so I would stay up super late because I didn't want to go to bed. I didn't want to work on my homework. I procrastinated everything. I slept through every class in high school, and it wasn't due to a lack of sleep. It was due to a lack of interest. And so one day, I'm just bored and browsing games on Adult Swim's website with Full Metal Alchemist, the original, not Brotherhood, the original Full Metal Alchemist, that's right, the better one, playing in the background. Ooh, this man went, oh no, he didn't. So, they're both good for separate reasons.
I watched the original too before Brotherhood.
I know, because that one came out first. That's how it works. No one watched Shippuden before Naruto came out.
Wow.
Anyway, well, Shippuden's the better show anyway, so. Anyway, so then I just discovered this random behind-the-scenes video for an upcoming episode of Trinity Blood. If you don't know what Trinity Blood is, it's Twilight, but if the vampires were actually hot and killed each other. And hunted each other. And this is a deep cut. This was Troy Baker voicing an anime. Back when that still I know, right? Back when he did anime. And he's standing in the booth speaking at the same time that the character's lips are moving, and I was like, what is this? I could feel Willy Wonka in my subconscious going, come with me, you will see, you can be poor for the rest of your life. All you have to do is dub anime. So,
That's actually kind of special.
what, that I can sing?
No, that's horrifying. No, that was beautiful. It was lovely. But no, like the magic of like that moment.
The discovery moment. Like that's
I
what
had that with Futurama.
one of my favorite questions to ask people in different careers is like, what was the moment for you that made you decide, like, I want to commit myself to this? Like, what was the moment that made you decide you wanted to commit to moderating 5-year-olds?
I don't know.
This is the
I'm a
moment you
film
decided
director.
to get
Next
out of
book
it.
here.
You're like, as long as the vodka in my cup doesn't run out, I'm good to go.
No, I had that moment, like, I don't think it made me, because I think I already kind of wanted to do voiceover at the time, but made me, like, really want to do, like, animation and cartoons, watching Futurama. Like, I happened to have caught the pilot on TV, not when it first aired, like, a couple years after, probably, but I remember, like, Fry looking out at the future world from the window, and, like, the chimes of the Futurama theme song, and, like, that being, like, absolutely.
And it's such a stable mainstay that it's come back, what, twice,
Yeah,
3
it's back.
times at this point?
Yeah.
And that's different, by the way, from a show getting renewed, to go out of circulation and then be brought back in. Like, you guys probably know how big that was with Toonami, when they stopped it and then it came back by popular fan demand. That's happened like twice now with Futurama. That's huge.
It's back right now.
Like, it's different from Simpsons that refuses to die, so. Anyway, so that's for me, without going on for too long, that's how it's really been for me, is it was just that spark of passion, and I tell people that passion is a huge part of it, because I'm sure they'll both agree, as much as we love it, there are days when we wake up or we're sending auditions going, I hated everything about that, I'm not relevant anymore, I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
You think you're not going to work after every single project, your career's over, your life's over?
In the shower about to go loop on like a major feature film, like a Marvel movie, like crying in the shower that like my career's over. And I make a lot of money that day.
There's a big project that we've seen a lot of our colleagues announce 2-3 roles on, and they've just been announcing 12 things in the last month, and I'm not on any of them despite auditioning.
Yeah, exactly.
And it gets really hard to like trust yourself and not want to quit, but I can't quit. Like, it's literally Stockholm Syndrome. I want to be a part of it.
That's how much we love it.
Yeah, I tell people, like, if you could do anything else, like you could be happy in another thing, do that.
I just give people, I have to give one example. When I moved out to California in 2012, who in their right mind would have thought that in 5 years from then, that Zelda would have a canon voice Zelda game that wasn't mocked by the internet community, right? No, but seriously, like, there's no way I could have known. So I think about it that way. I'm like, if you give up, what could happen in 5 years from now that you're missing out on? And that's all that I need to keep going.
So follow your dreams, but like make sure it is truly your dream, because there will be a lot of hardships in it.
There will be a lot of hard.
A lot of crying in the shower.
Woo!
I know.
That was an awesome breaking in story.
We have 20 minutes left of this.
I know, I'm like, okay, I have this whole list of questions, and I'm gonna turn to the audience because I want to make sure they get their questions. But I have to. I've been moderating panels for over 8 years now. One of my favorite game series is one of the most obscure series that no one ever knows. They never play it.
Klonoa.
That's a good one.
Okay.
That's a good one. And I know you guys voiced Hummel and Donna, and I apologize, I didn't see you there. You guys see, you look lost, like you.
I'm just waiting. I'm eager.
It's eight.
Yeah.
Like,
But I want to know what her character was.
No, I get a lot of Donna love. I don't know why, because it's like a JRPG, and sometimes those aren't as popular. But to this day, years and years and years later, I get so many people coming up for Donna, and I'm like, wow, that really touched people, and like, what a dream.
Well, I just want to say thank you. Like, these 8 really it took 8 games. I've been preaching E's gospel.
That's the way Trails was for a while.
As well, yeah, and you have a credit on that as well.
Right.
And so, like, I just want to thank you because you guys put E's on the map finally for people who had never played the series.
Wow.
It was you guys.
And that is such a relevant story to what I was just mentioning about how you never know how it's going to work out. You just have to go for it, because when I auditioned for that, I had 2 roles that I was auditioning for. I don't even remember what the second character was. The first role, which I didn't get, I knew exactly how he sounded in my head. I felt super confident about my audition. I was like, I had a lot of fun with that. Then I looked at Hummel, and I verbatim, pardon my French, I sent the audition and went, I have no fucking idea what I just did. Like, I made a choice and I sent it in, and then I booked that one. I went, what the hell is this career?
Dude, that's how I felt with Wiz and Konosuba. I was like, I don't even sound like her. This is weird. And so I just kind of threw something together, and I was like, I don't know. And I just sent it in, and I booked it. It was crazy.
So I use that as a story of like, sometimes you just have to trust your instincts and go for it.
I have always. For Evangelion, I was called back for Shinji, not Rei.
Really?
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
I was not called back for Rei, and then I got there, and they were like, "Can you?" Like, I did the Shinji callback, and then Carrie Keranen, who directed the dub for Evangelion, was like, "Can you step out of the booth for a second? I'm going to bring you another side for another character that I want you."
I'm glad that she saw that in you.
Wild,
Give
right?
you a chance.
That's how I booked Chizaki in Lull in the Sea. I auditioned for every female character except Chizaki.
Really?
And then Mommy was like, wait, and brought me the sides for Chizaki, and that's the one I booked.
People
Isn't that wild?
People know me for Rivali and Teba from Breath of the Wild and the Zelda games, but I did not have those characters until I had already been cast as the Great Deku Tree. Those happened mid-production, and I almost didn't get to read for the Great Deku Tree because they told us to prepare 3 characters when we came in, and I did 2 of them, and originally they were going to say like, oh, okay, you know, thank you very much. And they weren't like excusing me, but they thought we have what we need. I said, oh, could I do my 3rd character? They said, oh, which one did you want to do? And I mentioned the character that would have been the tree. And I kid you not, the casting director goes, oh, that's okay. You know, we got a lot of big guys that, you know, they got really deep voices. And this was rare for me because I'm usually very submissive in that regard. But I kind of put my foot down. I was like, I understand, and you can totally listen and say thank you and send me on my way. But I was told to prepare 3 characters. I would like to do my 3rd character.
Good for you.
And so they let me, and I'm physically there doing the Great Deku Tree voice. And the dude is like, holy shit. Like, you know. Well, it kind of pissed me off because he said, you know, I gotta tell you, if I didn't see you standing there doing this, I wouldn't have believed you were capable of doing it. And externally I went, thank you, I'm very glad that I can surprise people. And in my head I'm going, it's voice acting! There's no physical component to it! So, but I smiled and nodded and took the paycheck, you know. But it's just one of those things, if you got it, it's so self-driven. It is so self-driven because we're very grateful when people look out for us, but there's just as many cases where if you don't look out for yourself, others will not. Pay attention to the strikes that are happening right now for a good example.
So, indeed. Okay, I got to open it up for the questions because before we know this panel is over. So who has an awesome question? And I'll let you guys pick. Who you want? Unless you want me to do it, I can do it.
I saw her with the purple ears go first, also because of the latent furry.
Okay, so I have a question. ReZero is a roller coaster of a show, like emotionally. It makes you happy, sad, scared all at the same time. Do you guys ever personalize with those emotions, like when you voice the character?
would not believe how much camaraderie there was among the cast on this show in particular. I'll let you guys go first because I know that there was, you know.
No, I don't.
I mean, just coming in as actors, we knew that this show put the Japanese voice actors of Subaru and Rem on the map. Like, it was what made them celebrities. So, you know, we weren't trying to become celebrities, but we knew that that was the quality that we were hoping to achieve with that show. We already appreciated the fact that it was an isekai that didn't just give the protagonist absurd powers, it turned it on its head. There were a lot of uncomfortable emotions that I had to deal with during the course of the show. In season 1, when he does the entire monologue to Rem, that wasn't acting because at that same time I was trying to convince my wife to leave me because I was like, you're going to find out that I'm introverted, you're going to realize that I don't go out and do a lot of stuff and that I'm very boring because I keep myself entertained without involving other people, so just spare yourself the effort and go find someone who's a better fit for you. So that was awkward. And then season 2 was even worse because anyone here who hasn't seen season 2, okay, are you okay with minor, like within the first 5 episode spoilers? He basically practices saying goodbye to his parents because he doesn't know if he's gonna ever see them again. And I lost my mom when I was in high school, like shortly after, it was freshman year, so it was before I even became a voice actor. And of course, I'm aware of my dad's growing age with each passing year. So it was like getting to say goodbye to my mom a second time, and then practicing saying goodbye to my dad, and that fucking sucked. So of course I was going through it, and a good actor is willing to go to those places and hurt all over again, because it's where the most truthful performances come from. Great answer. Oh, I'm sorry. Use that, get stronger.
Next time.
Oh, did you guys read that?
I mean, like, well, I mean, I've actually never shared this before, so it's like I'm questioning if I should, but...
I didn't want to bring it up unless you wanted to, so...
Well, so my little sister died, and then my mom killed herself 2 days after. And my first session back in LA was doing episode 15 and dying in Subaru's arms. So when I'm talking about asking him to live for me and everything, I was really, you know, talking for my sister.
I'm so proud of you for sharing that. I know.
Yeah, there's, I mean, we feel really grateful that that show, like you said, it has the funny moments, it has the really dark moments in season 2. You see more of Rom's heart and she sacrifices herself again for someone that she loves.
I'm so grateful for season 2 because it just makes so many of the additional characters so fleshed out and cool and important. Ugh.
Yeah, those of you who haven't seen season 2 yet are
have to.
Really missing out on at least a lot of the Rob stuff. But I mean, we like comedy too, like all of us do comedy as well, so we feel grateful for the complexity of the show, and it's very well written. That's what makes it stand out from other isekai, is that the writing is really good. But when I work, I use a lot of substitution, which is where you're using someone from your real life to basically pretend like you're talking to them about a very similar emotional situation, or that you're talking about them for a very similar emotional situation. So, so I kind of like used real people in my life to access those sort of like moments of like when she reveals her heart in season 2. There's a really emotional conversation between her and Roswell about how she really feels about him, and the pain that comes along with that love, and whether or not it's a true love. I won't spoil it for those of you that
I
haven't
need to go
seen
back and watch it because I feel like I don't fully grasp it the first time.
it's a rough scene. But yeah, for each of us, like, it did strike real chords, I think, which is why it resonated with so many people, I hope, you know, because we did access like some dark stuff when we were recording it, and has always been like a weird time for all of us. It's been like the entire, I mean, we've been working on this show. It's amazing that we're only in season 2, almost 3, not even 3 yet, you know.
Right.
And we've been working on this, I think we were cast in 2016.
Yep.
Maybe 2017.
No, I remember because I just started
like,
my job at California Adventure and then I had to leave it.
4 years, or how many years is that?
7.
7 years for 2 seasons. 2 seasons and 7 years, and it's still that relevant. You still see Rem and Rom all over the convention
Just
floor.
we gotta put
Like-
3 of them in pirate hats and then we'll get like 1,000 episodes.
All we want is Funkos, actually.
Yes.
But
Speaking of which, okay, this is the segue I was talking about. Can I have someone with a 1-day badge for Sunday come up to the stage,
Oh, let's
please?
see it, let's
Come
see
on
it.
up. So,
This
wait,
is
don't show
Saran.
it. Don't show it yet. Don't show it yet. Hide it. Turn around.
Okay.
So the thing that we always laugh about is how you can go into any anime shop in the United States and they will have Ren and Rom
Right.
figurines.
But
like
no Subaru.
but no Subaru.
Right.
Can you please show them Sunday's badge?
What?
Oh, wait,
They don't-
we need to get one. I know.
Where is Subaru?
I missed the point.
So it's who's from, where's Subaru, what's
For someone
wrong?
for whom
What's wrong? Because it's like, what's wrong?
the major plot point is that you cease to exist in people's memory, but in the real world, it's Subaru going through that.
I'm sorry, it's a tough break. You need to get cuter.
Try dressing
I'm
as a
changing
maid
my.
outfit.
His
Dress
name.
as a maid outfit.
His name is.
Dress as a maid outfit.
His name is Ryan Notsky for season 3.
I told you to let Rem cut your hair. But you were too nervous that you would get too excited.
Oh my god.
So, anyway, but yeah, so we put our hearts into it, and we're really proud of it. It was really dark, and it's been like a very formative show for all 3 of us. It's been part of our career for pretty much as long as I've been doing anime. It was one of my first roles in anime. I don't know how far into your anime career it
I
was.
feel like it was, I've been doing anime for a few years.
When was Lull in the Sea?
Along the Sea was 2015. Yeah.
So we were past the year after.
Yeah.
So not that far into it.
No, not at all.
So, it's been a part of our careers for as pretty much as long as we've been doing anime, and to think that like the anticipation for only the 3rd season is currently building right now is really exciting for us, and we're grateful to have stayed like semi-relevant because there's so many other good shows. But yeah, it's just really well written. Like, to answer your question, like this is like we're able to do our jobs as actors because they're giving us material that's like very real and very like easy to relate to and accessible, and taps into pains that all humans feel at some point, or loves or joys that all humans feel at some point. It feels really authentic, and we've kind of grown up with the series. I mean, we're not that old, so we've kind of like grown up with the show, and we're just really thankful for it. And we're very close. Like, we are good friends too.
Yes.
All right, who's got the next question?
I'll let you pick, because I picked someone.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you.
Do you guys have like a favorite voice that you like to go back to? Because Christopher's Squad is this like Niccolo voice that like a whole bunch of stuff. So do you have like a
I
favorite
do.
one that you like to go back to?
The funny story is, people will come up to me and they're like, wow, I really didn't know that was you. All these characters sound so different. And I'm like, because I'm just using my Red voice. Like, Elaine is the same voice. Misha's the same voice. It's literally my voice print. And I'm like, is that correct? It's the same.
Is Wiz similar?
No, Wiz is actually different, but she's still like a soft.
Because I was wondering, because on the like Isekai Quartet, they are both on it.
Yeah,
so I was
there's
like,
like
I wonder.
3.
Oh my gosh. Are any of them similar, or are they all?
No, they're all different,
Okay,
which is hilariously good. But yeah, I mean, I just use it's just all around.
too.
Everybody's around.
Everybody is red.
Who's around? Everybody.
My favorite to do, and like the only one that I do casually for fun, is Takachiyo from Yashahime, the sequel to Inuyasha. Has anyone here watched Yashahime? Okay, it's not that popular, but Takachiyo is like the new Shippo, kind of. He's like a little guy,
And he talks like this, and he's kind of spunky, and he's kind of a little rebel, and he really pretends like he doesn't like the girls, but he actually really does love them.
I want to pay you to I want to pay you like $20 to just pretend that he's got like the diva headset on. He's like, all right, gamers, let's get this. He's got like a Red Bull and he's on Overwatch. Just say, all right, gamers, let's get that bread.
All right, gamers, let's get that bread.
I read about that character. I saw when they sent out the auditions for that show, like they had the cover art for the promo image, and I saw him on it because he's like hanging on, like comically small and like dorky looking on the side, and I was like, cool, I want to be Inuyasha's daughter, not whoever that is. And then I knew, I saw him and I was like, oh yeah, I can do that. But I was like, no, I want to be Moroha. And I got a callback for Moroha. Very intensive callback process for that show, by the way. And so, as soon as I realized like I didn't get it, I was like, okay, well, like, I wonder if I'll get any other auditions for that show because I think it's going to be really popular. It wasn't.
You never know it's going to be popular. It's wild.
It's super weird.
I remembered recording for Danganronpa, and the whole cast was like, this is a nice little niche murder mystery game that no one's going to talk about.
Well, we thought the Inuyasha spinoff was going to be a big deal.
Of course.
It's actually really good if you guys haven't seen it. It does feel like old school Inuyasha, like it has that classic anime, like comfort food feel. So it's cute. Like it's about the girls and it's like fun, and Takachiyo is actually very likable. Even though like Shippo was great, like Takachiyo is really funny too. So check it out if you haven't, give it a shot. But anyway, so I saw them and I was like, okay, that creature has weird hair and I don't want to be it. Whoever that is. But then I got the audition and I knew so quickly. I was like, oh yeah, he would sound like this. Like instantly, it was just like I knew what to do.
I love when real characters speak to you like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
That's the best.
yeah.
So
And
much
he just
fun.
like popped off the page with a personality, and I got him because his stance is like kind of cocky and arrogant, and he's just funny and like kind of sassy. And then like I looked up clips of Shippo to see like what that character sounded like, because I didn't grow up watching Inuyasha. And then I also looked up clips of Hachi, and Hachi has sort of this nasally kind of thing, and Shippo has sort of this like textured kind of boyish rasp, and I like kind of finessed it to sort of combine to that, and it was just like really, like a lot of voice actors have told me like, what you did with that, like no one else could have done. Like that is exactly what that character needs to sound like, and that was definitely like a very divine inspiration kind of moment. Like I just knew what to do. So it's cool because it kind of worked out, because even though I did want to be Moroha and was called back for that, I was clearly like reeking of Takachiyo vibes, and that's the only voice that I do like casually at home because it's just fun. Like it's just fun for me, and I just like being like sassy and cocky because he's so cute and little, and you know he has a good heart. But he does this, like if you haven't seen the show, eventually you find out that he's a prince, and he's working as like a bounty hunter with the girls, with Sesshomaru and Inuyasha's daughters. Sorry. Takachiyo deserves the time.
I have to know.
Oh, we have.
Oh,
Okay. I lied.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
There you go. But yeah, so he's.
I'm sorry.
God. So anyway, but he kind of acts like he doesn't like them, but he does, and you find out that he's a prince and he's doing this bounty hunter thing, like literally for fun. Like he was born into a wealthy royal family, and he like excommunicated from them or whatever, and he lives this sort of piratey kind of lifestyle with them, with the girls, because he like literally likes adventure. And there's a point where they look like they're gonna go separate ways, and he kind of comes to them and he's like, no, I'm down for the ride. Like I'm here with you guys for the long run. And it's very cute, very touching moment where you really see that he's like their friend, like Shippo. Like he's doing this because he loves them. So yeah, that's my favorite one to do, like for fun on my own.
I don't have a sufficient answer for it because I think the thing that I really specialize in or enjoy is, showing people the adjustments that I make to pre-existing voices in order to create new ones. I need to get better at what you do, Brianna, which is like just kind of, because you rely on a good baseline voice, on your instincts,
Yeah,
and
it's
especially
all
on your natural
instinct.
voice. And I'm always trying to hide my voice. I'm always trying to be some
Why?
quirky character. I don't know, because it's fun. It's fun to just be different stuff. Like I said, I'm spunky, passionate, whatever.
Spunky.
So like a lot of, I don't know if anyone here is familiar with, but we'll get to you. I don't know if anyone here is familiar with Bedfellows, which is like this animated series that was online. But so
Fatigue's voice is very, very all the way up here and extremely gay.
like extremely gay.
Oh my God, I love that.
Well, he was the basis for Monotaro because it said,
Okay, so I start all the way up here, and then I take away the British accent, and then I make it more staccato, and it's Monotaro.
from Danganronpa. But the one that a lot of people don't know is Sheen.
Sheen is very angry all the time. He's always just, freaking pissed off, and he wants everyone to suffer. I said, what if I take that external anger and I make it internal bitterness instead? And now we have Teva.
So
that's why you don't have to force anything, because it naturally becomes something else when you use the imagination and the characteristics of each character.
If you ask me what is a favorite voice that I like to do, my response is a favorite voice that I like to hear is whenever Ryan here is asked to do an old woman's voice.
Oh my.
She does that.
She does like my old lady.
A lot of us will have like verbal tics that will say to get into character.
Yeah.
Like my famous one is, I understand what you're trying to say. A hook. And every time that she would prep to get into what, she'd go,
oh my, it helps me get there for the old lady.
Yes.
And my old lady is about to blast onto the main stage in a few years. I have a really cool title where I'm playing an old lady.
I hope it's an anime about grannies using their canes like witch brooms or something like that.
Super cool. I'm amazingly stoked, yeah. So stay tuned for more.
It's called like Hocus Pocus Old Folks or something
It's gonna
like
be
that.
a while. It's gonna be a couple of years, I think.
All right.
All right, next question.
You pick, Bree.
I don't know. I would pick everybody.
We should go faster too. Like we should do speed
Yeah,
so we can
speed
get to
round.
everyone.
Let's do speed round. In there.
With all the voice roles you guys take, are you ever just casually watching TV or playing a game and just like it slips from your mind you did a role, so you just get jump scared by hearing your own voice
Yes.
in that game?
No, that has happened to me.
For me, it's more often where I hear something that someone else did and went, oh, I remember those audition lines. Like, I remember saying that. And then I get depressed for the 5th time now.
I actually because I play the voice of some toys, like Fisher Price toys, where you like press the button and it's me being like, blue triangle, And so I was just watching TV once and like walking around, like folding laundry, doing other things, and there was a commercial that came on for like one of my toys, and they were playing with it, like the toy that I was speaking in the commercial, and I was like, oh, and one time, my partner, we were like doing something washing dishes, doing other things, and something happened on TV where it was me. I don't remember if it was a commercial or what, but he responded to me on the TV. Like, I didn't say anything. The TV was like, can you get that or whatever? And he was like, what? What do you want? And I was like, that is wild.
I have one that's...
I was like, oh no, whatever's on TV,
I have one
I think it
that's
was Toonami or something,
really funny and two that are really depressing, because I seem to have really bad luck with these. The funny one is, when I voiced Maple Story 2, I was the voice of the male berserker, and I was super excited about it because it was an MMO that I planned on playing. I didn't know at the time that the way that they did emotes in the game, because the emotes in 2 had voices attached to them. Like in 1, if you did like a wave expression, they'd be like, hello, but it was just like a static image. But in 2, they would do a little wave and then say something. Like my character's quotes were either, hello, or what's up, something like that. Well, in Maple Story 2, if a different player did the emote and you were close enough to them, it would play it on your end. It wasn't just on the player's side.
Okay.
So I would constantly get tripped out because I'm playing as my role, but I would hear my character go, what's up? And I'd be like, wait, I didn't hit that button. Did I misclick on the keyboard? And I'd have to remind myself that someone else was doing the emote.
That's wild.
And it's weird, because like, I'm the only one allowed to play as my class. What are you talking about? The sad one is, I don't book a lot of commercials. I try very hard, but I haven't had a lot of luck. And there was one radio advertisement that I booked for Universal Studios, and it was for the new Harry Potter ride, back when Harry Potter was fun and not depressing and problematic. For the first time, I heard it out in the wild, and I was like, oh my God, that's my voice. I want to tell the people around me. It was a Universal Studios radio commercial. And I was sitting on the Disneyland cast member bus, going to the park, and just looking around at everyone was like, yup, same shit, different day. And I was like, these people do not care about that. I was scared it was gonna get like written up, like, you don't talk about your competitors, that's not very good for team morale.
Throw you off the trail.
Right, and then last year, I booked a Taco Bell spot. And I was super happy because it was like for food that I ended up trying. And I was going to be visiting the city that they were going to specifically air it in. It wasn't even for a convention. I was visiting a partner of mine. And I'm like, we have to listen for the commercial while I'm there. I was there for 5 days. And everywhere we drove, we were flipping among the radio stations, and I never heard it once. Not a single time. However, I did tell the folks at the Taco Bell we went to about the ad, and they got super jazzed and they wanted to take a picture with me with like a tray of food.
That's actually kind of...
I hope I'm secretly like on the backside of one of their menus where they just like longingly look at it like Wolverine with Deadpool when he's sitting in bed. It's like, he was there. That dude.
Yeah. From the commercial on the radio.
This is totally worth my minimum wage paycheck.
See cheesy gordita crunch one more time. We like Taco Bell does a lot of radio advertisements too, so we all audition for like a lot of Taco Bell spots, and I always have to have Taco Bell.
For my next choice, I'm
Yes,
picking him mostly because I noticed we keep going for people in the front, and this man played the game. He moved from his seat in the back further up so that maybe we pick him. So,
Yeah, that was me.
you goddamn cheater.
You're still
Brianna, Sean.
What's up?
It was a pleasure to meet you finally. And
Oh my God, he bowed to me. I might have to date this guy.
So, it was a pleasure to meet you and appreciate your work.
Thank you.
So, anyways, I have a question for you both, all three of you.
Both. Wait, which one were you forgetting?
I mean, for all three of you, not both, sorry. I mean, so, for your careers, it's based on your careers. So, but it can be anything from whatever you record session.
Yeah.
What is your favorite voice line you ever recorded on your career? Right? Either like an emotional time or something like fun time.
I have said some weird stuff in my time. For those of you who play Danganronpa, I have gotten paid to describe my father licking my butthole. That is a very, it was Danganronpa V3, it's a real thing. I'm not exaggerating. Anyway, that is not the line that almost broke me. The only time I almost ruined my own, because I get very serious when working, because I always feel like I'm a liability and I don't want to piss people off or like feel like I'm not taking it seriously. The only time I almost ruined my own take from busting out laughing was Guido Mista going, "You understand that, you bobble-headed turd burglar?" And like, when the words turd burglar came out of my mouth, like it was like that thing with Tim Curry, where it's like, "To the one place not ruined by capitalism, space," you know? He's trying, if you've ever seen that video of Command and Conquer or Red, whatever, he's trying so hard not to lose it before just throwing his head back and saying space. And that was my Tim Curry moment. I was like, "You turd burglar!" So, for me, that was it. Oh, are you playing? Oh, you're
No, I'm trying to find something else.
Okay.
There's so many, so I'll just pick one out of all the hilarious, amazing, incredible, tear-jerker lines. But Kumiko, So Miss Spider, So What? I lived with the director for like 6 months, every single day, 4+ hours a day on that show. She has the most loops ever. It's just, and she just doesn't stop talking for 26 episodes. And so that character was mine, and I had a lot of creative freedom, which you don't usually get to have in anime. So it was very exciting. So then later in the show, there's a war that's starting, and it's her fault. And there was a line, and I noticed something. I was like, David, I have a really good idea. He's like, well, yeah, just do your thing. You're Kumiko, just have fun. So I got to improv a line. So I heard the 3 beeps, you know, before I started recording. Beep, beep, beep. Oops, I started a war. And it is in the show, baby. Brittany. It's Brittany, bitch.
I don't even know. We've said so much ridiculous
There's so
stuff.
much, you just gotta pick one
I feel
out.
like we need a director's cut of the Barbie movie that just at the very end has just Britney Spears show up just to say that. Like she's all dolled up. She goes, "It's Britney, bitch."
Right.
So.
Hire me, I wanna be Brittany.
Oh my god.
I wanna be Brittany when I grow up.
Don't we all?
You gotta change your name to Ryan first.
There's like, I don't even know, there's so many. I was looking for this character in Jujutsu Kaisen that I played in season 2, but I don't know. It's just a very, very ugly demon, which doesn't whittle it down. But
Did you substitute with me?
what do
You said you used substitution, did you?
I made myself Sean Chiplock.
Oh my god.
No, that's not what substitution is. It's for the person you're talking to.
Okay.
But yeah, just, I don't know. I can't, like, there's so many ridiculous things we say. Yeah, I truly cannot pick one. Now, we did do some is anyone watching Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 right now? Cool. So there's like an in-joke that we put into one of the like recaps at the end where they're like, you know, next time on Jujutsu Kaisen, and for those of you who don't know, I play Shoko Airi, which is like this really like darker kind of like raspy kind of voice for me because she's a smoker, and so she's very sexy, very laid back, and Keiji actually wrote this line. They were just talking about like things that get stuck in their head, and he wrote a line for Shoko because what was in there didn't translate very well because like they were talking about in-jokes, and the in-joke like would work for the Japanese audience but maybe not the English audience, so he came up with an alternate line that's like making fun of a Jujutsu Kaisen meme, and it's like what gets stuck in your head, and he had me say fried chicken shop, you know, and that's like an in-joke for the Jujutsu Kaisen community, and it made the cut, and everyone freaked out, so that was exciting.
I just want to say I'm proud of us because we're an example of a panel that ended with more people than it started with. Like,
people trickled in. Okay, speed round. We're gonna get through as many as we can really fast.
I picked 6 minutes.
Okay, I'm picking Inuyasha.
Okay.
Okay, I have a question for Sean specifically.
That typically happens in panels, yes.
Not the show so bad.
No, it's okay.
You voiced Kai Kiss in Guilty Gear. How was that for you?
So I've voiced characters in fighting games before, and I'm just used to, you know, don't think it's too big a deal. It's just a member of a roster. So when I recorded for Kai, I was like, this is cool. He is a member of the fighting game roster. And then I saw the promo art and the game cover and everything else come out, and I went, oh, he is the guy, like one of the 2 guys. And then I listened to his theme song and I went, oh, I am the bi. I'm bi now. So between you and me, I think Ponytail Kai has got it going on more. I mean, he's cool, you know, Kai Kieskin Guilty Gear Strive is a dad, but Kai Kieskin previous games is single, so that's kind of important. I don't want to rock the boat too much. No, but I noticed that there's a lot more fighting games that have like continuous lore now, whether it's Guilty Gear or Blaze Blue, even Mortal Kombat is now like revisiting its lore, and I think it's cool that it's beyond just people who happen to be in a ring beating each other up, because if I wanted that, I'd just go to Detroit or Carson. So, I know that was a long shot. But I just think it's cool to get to be a part of that universe, and especially with the DLC characters with Bridget and the development that we got to have with that, I cannot tell you, as someone who hopes that he is seen as an LGBTQIA plus ally, to be able to be a part of that scene of like helping her recognize her identity and supporting her and just being so transparent about it, it was so cool, and I love that we're getting that kind of representation in these games nowadays. Yeah. You're up. Oh wait, no, you pick. You're up.
Mario Hat.
Okay, so you know at some point they're gonna make a sequel.
That's very vague, sir.
The Mario movie.
The Mario movie?
Yeah. If you had a chance, who would you want to play as?
Master Bowser, the Mario Brothers are coming back.
I want to be Kamek or one of the Koopas or something like that.
Somebody asked me which like Mario character, Sage, because I play Sage in Sonic Frontiers. If anyone here has played Sonic Frontiers yet, but thank you. So someone was like, okay, if Eggman is Bowser, then like who would Sage be? And I was like, I don't know, I don't like watch a lot of Mario. And they were like, you're like Bowser Jr. So I'm gonna say Bowser Jr.
Can I make a suggestion? This may not make any sense to you, but I think they'll agree. You're the child of Rosalina.
Okay.
Why is that funny? I think it's legit. Screw you!
I also really like Yoshi personally. It's just cute.
I want to be in a Mario movie where his mustache talks, and I'll be his mustache.
Cutest mustache ever.
Your name is Stasia.
Oh, Stasia! Wait, can we really make that happen? Stasia, right? And I'll have a French accent.
Wait, I'm trying to think. No, I don't think it's in front. Okay. All right. You. Too slow. Next person. Go ahead. One of the favorite scene in ReZero? Okay, the one that I'm proud of is during the... I'm proud of 2 things. One, when he gets possessed by Betelgeuse, that is not me and Todd Haberkorn trading places. That is me voicing as me, then switching into me voicing like I'm Todd Haberkorn, then back to me in the same take. We did not, no, we didn't do separate takes. We did that all at once because it was like me struggling with my internal brain. People who've seen season 2, raise your hand. Okay, from the moment that his hand gets bitten off by the snow rabbit until the end of that season.
Spoilers!
Thank you for precursoring. Okay, from the moment that his hand gets bitten off till the end of that scene is one continuous take. There was only one take. We did not do a second take. That was one and done. So.
For me, it's the scene where I'm telling the story about the demons to him in season 1, where she like grabs his fingers, and then for season 2, it's the like confession to Roswell and like dying part.
I wanted to do that scene with her, but every time she pulled my fingers, I started farting, so they made her do it separately.
Yeah. It's tough love.
Season 1, 15, because it's like a horror movie, and I'm a horror movie fiend, but it's also incredibly emotional. And season 2, when I was asleep in episode 16, dude, that dream I was having, oh, it was so intense.
What? I get residuals now from this show?
We got 1 minute.
Yeah, lightning round. So we're gonna give you like one sentence answers, only if it's for all 3 of us. Put your hand down if it's just for one of us. Okay, purple.
All right. Who's one character you want to spend one day with?
Who's what?
One character that you're willing to spend one day with.
Felt. She lives an interesting life, I bet. Go.
I want to try drinks made by Luke.
Wrong. I thought you meant from ReZero. I thought you didn't take such pictures.
Puck. I would just be petting them all day.
That'd be interesting. Okay. Next.
Oh, glasses. Dancing.
Wishing I had more time.
I just got a puppy, so.
Wishing I had her puppy.
Spending time with her.
Whoever had their hand raised in the back and then lowered it like a coward. Yeah, you.
What was the hardest voice character that you played as?
Noob Saibot is easily the hardest because anyone can do this voice, but can you do it for 2 hours straight?
I don't think any of mine have been like super hard to a point where I couldn't sustain it. Beyblade is really rough on the voice just because it's a lot of yelling. But
That's your one sentence.
Akira Astral Chain, I'm extremely feminine and girly girl, and that's a very masculine character, and it was very difficult for me.
I think. We got time for one more of you. Go ahead.
My video game.
What?
You're on the rings.
Sorry?
He said Lord of the Rings. That's his favorite video game.
Oh, it's his favorite video game. Very cool. Yeah, Third Age was a really fun game as well. All right, last question. Yes?
What do you love most about your characters in ReZero?
Easy.
I love that he's loyal to a fault, but he likes to see justice done if people are wronged in some way, and I appreciate that he's honest even when it's part of his flaws.
I like that she's funny and that she does have like a tender heart, but it's kind of wrapped in this like sassy kind of humor.
I just love how sweet and soft and open-hearted Rem is, and passionate to the death for the people she loves.
And we especially love that you all are so passionate that you're going to go to our tables right after we leave this panel and buy every single one of our prints from the show and my wife's candles. Thank you so much ahead of time. We do take cash and card.
Yes, I think I have one holographic Rem and Rob left. So first come, first serve.
Yep.
Yeah, come say hi to us. We have so many cute prints of ReZero. You've got to come see them.
Yes.
All right, guys, let's give it up for them.